So my name is Choden, and I'm co-teaching on a trauma-informed mindfulness course from the 12th to the 14th of April at SAMYE LING. There will also be the option to attend this course online. And the idea of this course is to provide a trauma-informed approach to mindfulness for mindfulness practitioners. So it'll be focused on people who already are practicing mindfulness. So it won't be for complete beginners, but people who have some experience. Later on in the year, there will be another course in October focused around mindfulness teachers. These days, there's been a growing awareness of trauma as a big issue in the lives of many people. And there have been great writers in this respect, like Gabor Mate, Bessel van der Kolk, Thomas Hübel. And there's also a popular understanding that mindfulness is a cure-all for everything, from stress to depression to poor health. But actually, research shows that this is not always the case. In some cases, mindfulness can actually make trauma symptoms worse and can even re-traumatize people in certain cases. And I have experience of this myself, having done long retreat, intensive practice in the Tibetan tradition, that sometimes the message we had was just to go through whatever happened, whatever comes up, you just keep going. And the idea was if you just kept going, you would sort of work through whatever arose in the mind. But in my experience, that wasn't always the case. Sometimes things got worse and not better. So the idea of this weekend is to provide a trauma-informed framework and to offer certain skills and practices to ensure that our mindfulness practice goes in a healing direction, in a safe direction. And I think if one practices mindfulness with this kind of framework and understanding, it can be very transformative, very healing. And as part of that, what we will be presenting on the weekend is helping people stay in their window of tolerance. So what this really means is making sure that we are always safe, that we always feel emotionally regulated, and which means that we don't have our foot too much on the accelerator, too much hyperactivity, too much dysregulation in the mind, on the one hand. On the other hand, to avoid having your foot on the brake, which means going numb, spacing out, disassociating. So finding the middle way between these two is the window of tolerance. It also goes back to the middle way of the Buddha, between not too tight, not too loose. That's one key theme. Another one will be drawing on the work of Gabor Mate and helping us to say no. Many people are very compliant and are always saying yes to things that are often not good for them. So learning to say no is something very powerful and also creates boundaries in which we can keep ourselves safe. So for that reason, it really is helpful in this trauma-informed area. Another thing we'll focus on is having external focuses for mindfulness practice. A lot of mindfulness practice is very inner focused around breathing, body sensations. But sometimes if we do that too much, it can actually trigger trauma held in the body. So it can be quite skillful to alternate between an inner focus on breathing and body sensation and an outer focus, say, on sound, sights, smells. And also the outer focus can give a real spaciousness to the mind. So that's something else we will be working on, alternating between inner focus and outer focus. And I think another key theme I will present is around what in Buddhism is called Buddha nature, which means finding that part of ourselves, touching that part of ourselves that has always been okay, that has always been well, and has always been free, no matter what difficulty or trouble happens in our life. So if we can touch that part of ourselves and learn to rest there, this is the part that never got traumatized. And if we can be more in this part and relate to the trauma from this part, that makes a big difference to the healing, because we are always leaning into the part of ourselves that actually has always been fundamentally okay and well. And we can then bring this quality of wellness to whatever trauma history we might be carrying. So those are some ideas and thoughts about what we will be doing on the weekend, and hope to see you then.